Roughly 1 in 3 adults right now has fat quietly building up in their liver, and most of them have no idea. By the time you finish watching this video, thousands more will join them. And here's the part nobody explains clearly. You are already seeing the signs on your own face. The dullness, the dryness, the new lines that did not used to be there. Some of that is age, but some of it is your liver. And that part you can actually do something about. Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Laura Chen, health educator and medical researcher. My job on this channel is to take the science that your 15-minute doctor's visit never has time to explain and slow it down in plain English the way you deserve to hear it. If this is the kind of content you want more of, practical, honest, evidence-based, no hype, please subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment. We are working toward 100,000 subscribers this season, and every one of you matters. There is also a community link in the description where viewers over 50 share what is working for them. I read those. Here is what we are going to do today. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how your liver and your skin are connected, what specific signs to watch for after 50, what an evidence-based morning routine actually looks like, and what to ask your doctor for at your next appointment. No magic drinks, no promises of reversal in 2 weeks, just the truth, and a plan you can actually follow. Let me start by clearing something up because the internet has lied to you about this for years. You have seen the headlines. Your wrinkles are just your liver. One special drink will reverse them. Detox your liver in 7 days. Drop 10 years off your face. None of that is honest. Wrinkles are caused by aging, by sun exposure, by smoking, and by repeated facial movement. Those are the big four. Nothing you drink in the morning is going to undo a decade of sun damage in 3 weeks. If anyone tells you otherwise, they are selling something. But, and this is the part that does not get talked about enough, there is a real, well-documented connection between liver health and how your skin looks. It is just smaller, slower, and far more interesting than the clickbait makes it sound. Think of your liver like the water filter under your kitchen sink. When that filter is clean and working, the water that comes out is clear. You barely notice it. When the filter slowly gets clogged, over years, not days, the water does not suddenly turn black. It just gets a little duller, a little less crisp. You start to notice the glass looks different. That is what happens to your skin when your liver is under chronic, low-grade metabolic stress. It does not give you a dramatic warning. It just slowly turns down the brightness. And here is the part that is going to matter to you if you are over 50. The most common liver problem in the world right now is not hepatitis. It is not cirrhosis. It is something called metabolic dysfunction-associated steatotic liver disease, MASLD for short. It used to be called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. The medical community officially renamed it in 2023. It affects roughly 30 to 38% of adults globally. In the United States alone, projections estimate more than 120 million adults are living with it. Most have no idea. There is no early pain. There are no obvious symptoms at the beginning. By the time you have the classic signs, yellowing of the skin, intense itching, fluid in the belly, the disease is already advanced. So your face becomes one of the earliest places to look. Not the only place, but one of the most overlooked. That is the whole point of this video. Let me explain what is actually happening biologically, because once you see it, you will never unsee it. Your liver is the largest internal organ in your body, and it has roughly 500 jobs. It filters your blood. It processes everything you eat, drink, breathe in, or absorb through your skin. It makes the proteins that hold fluid inside your blood vessels. It produces bile to digest fat. It stores vitamins. It regulates hormones, including the estrogen that, after menopause, drops sharply and changes how your skin behaves. And critically, it manages your blood sugar. That last job is where the skin story begins. When you eat a meal, especially one heavy in sugar, refined carbohydrates, or ultra-processed food, your blood sugar rises. Your liver and your muscles try to soak that sugar up like a sponge. But here's the problem. After about age 50, that sponge gets stiffer. It does not soak up sugar as easily as it did at 30. The sugar stays in your bloodstream longer, and while it is floating around in there, it starts sticking to your proteins. This process is called glycation. The end products of that reaction are molecules with a long name and a very visible effect on your face. Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Think of glycation like toasting bread. Low heat, nothing happens. High heat for long enough, the bread turns brown, crisps up, and stiffens. That browning is chemically very similar to what is happening inside your skin when blood sugar runs high for years. Your collagen, the protein that gives your skin its bounce and its fullness, gets chemically toasted. It cross-links, it hardens, it loses elasticity. And the visible result is exactly what you would expect. Yellow-brown undertones, dullness, deeper, more set-in lines, less of that springy quality. This is not a guess. This is well-established dermatological science, published in peer-reviewed journals, and confirmed by something called the Age Reader, a real device dermatology researchers use to measure how much glycation has built up in your skin. Now here's where your liver enters the picture. When your liver is working well, it helps clear excess sugar and the toxic byproducts of metabolism. When your liver is struggling, when fat is building up inside its cells, when its enzymes are mildly elevated, when it is doing the work of three organs because the modern diet is overwhelming it, that clearance slows down. Blood sugar runs higher for longer, AGE production goes up, inflammation rises, and your skin, slowly, starts paying the bill. On top of that, your liver makes glutathione, one of the most important antioxidants inside your body. When liver function dips, glutathione production dips with it. And glutathione is part of what protects your skin from oxidative damage. Less glutathione means less defense. There is also the bile angle. Bile is what your liver makes to digest fats and absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Vitamin A in particular is critical for skin turnover. It is the same family of compounds your dermatologist prescribes as retinoids. If your bile flow is sluggish, fat-soluble vitamin absorption suffers. Skin turnover slows. The newer, fresher cells underneath take longer to surface. You look more tired than you actually are. Now layer on hormones. Estrogen, which protects skin collagen and elasticity, drops sharply after menopause. Testosterone declines in men more gradually. Both of those hormones are partly metabolized by, yes, the liver. When the liver is stressed, hormone balance gets noisier and the skin feels it. So when you put all of this together, the glycation, the slower toxin clearance, the dropped glutathione, the sluggish vitamin absorption, the messier hormones, your face is essentially showing you the metabolic story your blood tests have not yet flagged. And here's the part you need to hear. Every year you ignore this, the damage compounds. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet way. That is exactly what makes it so dangerous. Now let me give you the 5 biggest drivers of this liver-to-skin damage cycle after 50. These are the villains. Once you know them by name, you will see them everywhere in your day. Villain number 1, added sugar and refined carbohydrates. This is the king of the list. Every time you eat refined sugar or refined carbs, soda, juice, candy, white bread, pastries, sweetened yogurt, breakfast cereal, your blood sugar spikes. Your liver pulls that sugar in. If your muscles do not need it for immediate energy, your liver converts the excess to fat. Some of that fat stays in the liver. That is exactly how fatty liver builds up. And the same blood sugar spike that drives liver fat also drives the glycation we just talked about. So this one ingredient is hitting your skin from 2 directions at once. Myth versus reality. The myth is that fruit sugar and added sugar are the same thing. They are not. Whole fruit comes with fiber, water, and antioxidants that slow the sugar absorption down. A glass of orange juice is not the same as an orange. The orange is fine. The juice is essentially sugar water without the breaks. The American Heart Association recommends no more than about 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day for women and 9 for men. 1 can of regular soda blows past both numbers in one sitting. Villain number 2, visceral fat. This is the fat that builds up around your organs, especially the belly. It is not the same as the fat under your skin that you can pinch. Visceral fat is metabolically active. It pumps out inflammatory signals, small proteins called cytokines, that travel through your blood, reach your liver, and turn up the heat on the entire system. After age 50, especially for women going through and past menopause, body composition shifts. You can weigh exactly the same as you did at 40 and have significantly more visceral fat. Your waist circumference is the simplest measure. Generally, over 35 inches for women and over 40 inches for men is a warning sign worth discussing with your doctor. And the inflammation does not stop at the liver. It reaches your skin, It accelerates aging at the cellular level. The medical term for this slow, low-grade inflammation that comes with age is inflammaging, inflammation plus aging, and visceral fat is one of its biggest fuel sources. Villain number 3, alcohol. Yes, even moderate. This one is hard to hear, so let me say it gently. The old guidance that a glass of red wine a day is good for you has been quietly walked back. Recent reviews from the World Health Organization concluded there is no safe level of alcohol for cancer risk. For your liver specifically, alcohol is processed directly there. Every drink is real work for your liver. And after 50, your liver's ability to process alcohol drops measurably. You are not imagining that 2 glasses of wine hit you harder than they used to. They literally do. On the skin side, alcohol is dehydrating. It dilates the small blood vessels in your face, which is why some people develop persistent facial redness or rosacea-like flushing. And it disrupts the second half of your sleep, which is when your skin actually repairs itself. None of this means you must be a teetotaler. It means the math has changed since you were 30. Be honest about it. If you are drinking 3 or 4 nights a week, your liver is asking for a rest. Villain number 4, chronic sleep deprivation. If you are sleeping less than 6 hours a night, your liver is in trouble and so is your skin. Sleep is when your body runs its repair shop. Growth hormone, which drives tissue repair, is released during deep sleep. Cortisol, the stress hormone that raises blood sugar, drops overnight when you sleep well and stays elevated when you do not. Chronic poor sleep raises insulin resistance, drives visceral fat, and worsens the same inflammation we have been talking about. On your face, this shows up as under-eye darkness, puffiness, dullness, slower healing of any blemish, and increased sensitivity. After 50, deep sleep naturally shortens, which is one more reason this matters more now than it did at 30. And here is a quiet truth most people miss. If you snore loudly, gasp awake, or wake up exhausted no matter how many hours you logged, please get screened for sleep apnea. Untreated apnea is linked to significantly worse fatty liver outcomes, and it is shockingly common after 50. Villain number 5, polypharmacy and over-the-counter painkillers. By age 60, the average American is taking 5 or more prescription medications. Many of those are processed through the liver. Acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol and many cold and flu products, is the leading cause of acute liver failure in the United States, almost always from people unknowingly stacking it across multiple over-the-counter products at once. I am not telling you to stop your medications. I am telling you to do one thing this month. Sit down with your pharmacist or doctor and review every single thing you take, including over-the-counter pills and supplements. Ask one simple question. Is anything on this list working my liver harder than it needs to? You will be surprised how often the answer reveals something useful. A duplicate ingredient, a supplement you no longer need, a dose that could be adjusted. So there are your 5 villains: sugar, visceral fat, alcohol, sleep loss, medication overload. Every one of them is a liver problem first and a skin problem second. Let me tell you about someone you might recognize. This is a composite story, drawn from patterns I see again and again in the medical literature, not one specific person. Margaret, 58, recently retired schoolteacher. She comes in because her skin has changed. It looks dull, tired. There are new little brown patches on her temples. Her cheeks have a slight yellow undertone in certain light. She has been buying expensive creams and getting frustrated that nothing works. She mentions, almost as an afterthought, that she has been more tired than usual, that she has gained about 15 pounds since menopause, and that her last blood test said something about my liver, but the doctor said not to worry, it was probably nothing. The question nobody asked her was, what exactly was that liver number? Her ALT was 48, above the normal range, not catastrophic, but not normal either, and nobody had connected it to her skin, her fatigue, or her weight. When she finally got a thorough workup, including an abdominal ultrasound, she had moderate fatty liver. She did not need medication. She needed 3 months of structured changes. 6 months later, the fatigue was gone. She had lost 12 pounds. Her ALT was 22, and yes, her skin looked different. Not because she had bought a better cream, because her body was finally not fighting itself. Margaret's story is not rare. It is the story of millions of women and men over 50 right now. The skin signal was there the whole time. Nobody looked. Quick question before I give you the plan. How old are you? I genuinely want to know. Drop your age in the comments below. The reason this matters is that after about age 50, the metabolic shift we have been talking about, the slower sugar clearance, the rising visceral fat, the drop in liver efficiency, accelerates significantly. After 60, it accelerates again. So what you should be paying attention to and how aggressively depends on where you are right now. So tell me, are you 50, 55, 65, past 70? I read the comments, and I tailor future videos to the people who actually show up here. Now the practical part. 5 villains, 5 solutions. Mirror image. Here's what the evidence actually supports. Solution number 1. A liver-supportive morning routine, the real one. Start your day with 3 things, in this order. First, 16 ounces of water before anything else, ideally with a squeeze of fresh lemon. The water is not magic. It is rehydration after 8 hours of sleep, which supports liver and kidney filtration. The lemon adds vitamin C, which your liver uses as an antioxidant. Second, 1 cup of black coffee, or unsweetened green or black tea. The science on coffee and the liver is some of the strongest in nutrition research. A 2021 systematic review and meta-analysis found that regular coffee drinkers had roughly 35% lower odds of significant liver fibrosis. That is not a small effect. That is one of the strongest food-based associations in the entire liver literature. The key is unsweetened. The moment you add a flavored creamer with sugar, you have undone most of the benefit. Third, within an hour, eat a protein-forward breakfast. Eggs, Greek yogurt with berries, smoked salmon, tofu, cottage cheese, not sugary cereal or pastries. Protein in the morning stabilizes blood sugar for hours. Stable blood sugar is direct AGE prevention. This is the closest thing to a real morning routine there is. It will not erase a wrinkle. It will, over months, support the system that controls how fast new ones form. That is the honest version. And yes, the whole thing costs roughly $1 a day. The truth was always cheap. The marketing was the expensive part. Solution number 2, Mediterranean pattern eating. This is the single best studied diet for liver health on the planet right now. In a recent 12-week randomized controlled trial, the Mediterranean dietary pattern reduced liver fat by 39%. Read that twice. 39% in 3 months from food alone. No pill, no procedure. The pattern is simple. Vegetables and legumes at most meals. Olive oil as your primary fat. Fish 2 or 3 times a week. Whole grains instead of refined. Fruit instead of dessert. Limited red meat. Limited processed food. The 2024 European Clinical Practice Guidelines from 3 major medical societies specifically recommend this pattern as first-line treatment for fatty liver disease. Not as a wellness trend, as first-line medical treatment. The same guidelines recommend a weight reduction of about 5% of your starting weight to reduce liver fat, 7 to 10% to reduce inflammation, and more than 10% to improve fibrosis. So if you weigh 180 pounds, losing just 9 pounds in a sustained way is enough to meaningfully reduce the fat in your liver. That is a doable number, not a fantasy. Solution number 3, move after you eat, especially after dinner. You do not need to join a gym. You need to walk for 10 to 15 minutes within 30 minutes after each meal. This single habit can reduce post-meal blood sugar substantially. Lower blood sugar means lower AGE formation, means less liver work, means less skin damage. If you can add 2 short strength training sessions per week, even just bodyweight squats, wall push-ups, and a few minutes with light dumbbells, even better. Muscle is metabolically active. The more muscle you have, the more sugar your body can soak up, and the less ends up sitting in your bloodstream, stiffening your collagen. After 50, this matters more than at any other point in your life, because you lose muscle naturally if you do not actively work to keep it. The official term for that loss is sarcopenia, and it accelerates after 60. Solution number 4, sleep like it is medicine, because it is. Aim for 7 to 8 hours, same bedtime and wake time, including weekends. Cool, dark, quiet room, no screens for the last hour before bed, no alcohol within 3 hours of sleep. And this is the one most people get wrong, because alcohol makes you fall asleep faster but destroys the deep, restorative second half of the night. If you have trouble falling asleep, get morning sunlight in your eyes within an hour of waking. That single habit anchors your circadian rhythm more powerfully than any sleep supplement. And again, if you snore, gasp, or wake exhausted, ask your doctor about a sleep study. Treating apnea is one of the most underrated liver and skin interventions in modern medicine. Solution number 5, get the numbers you need. 2 things to ask your doctor for at your next appointment. First, a basic liver panel including ALT and AST, the 2 main enzymes that leak out when liver cells are stressed. If they are elevated, that is your warning shot. Second, a simple calculation called the FIB-4 score. It uses your age, your ALT, your AST, and your platelet count to estimate your risk of advanced liver fibrosis. It costs nothing extra. It takes about 10 seconds to calculate. It is one of the most underused screening tools in primary care today. If your numbers are concerning, your doctor can order a fibroscan, a non-invasive imaging test that measures liver stiffness directly. Please do not skip this step. I am a health educator. I am not your doctor. The numbers your physician runs are what turn this video from information into action. A word on supplements, because viewers always ask. The honest answer is that no supplement has the same evidence as the 4 lifestyle pillars above. Some compounds, milk thistle, omega-3 fish oil, vitamin E in selected cases, have modest data, but none of them replaces the basics, and some can interact with medications. So before adding anything, ask your doctor or pharmacist. Do not do it on your own. Let me show you what a single day of this looks like, start to finish, so you can see how it fits into a real life. You wake up. Before you check your phone, you drink a tall glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. While the coffee brews, black, unsweetened, you spend 5 minutes by a window with natural light hitting your eyes. That natural light sets your circadian clock for the day. Breakfast is 2 eggs and half an avocado on a slice of whole grain toast, or Greek yogurt with a handful of berries and walnuts. Protein and fat, not sugar. Mid-morning, a second cup of coffee or green tea if you want one. Another glass of water. At lunch, you build the plate around vegetables and a palm-sized portion of protein. Grilled chicken, lentils, beans, or fish. Olive oil dressing. A piece of fruit for sweetness. After lunch, a 10-minute walk. Not a workout, just a walk. The simple act of moving while your blood sugar is rising is one of the most powerful things you can do for your liver and your skin. In the afternoon, a small snack if you need one. A handful of almonds, a piece of cheese, an apple. Not a granola bar, not a sweetened drink. Dinner is early, ideally 3 hours before bed. Salmon or another fatty fish, roasted vegetables, a small portion of brown rice or sweet potato. Olive oil, herbs. One more short walk after, even just 10 minutes around the block. No alcohol on most days. If you choose to drink, 1 small glass with food, not on an empty stomach and not late. Lights low after sunset, no screens in the last hour. In bed at the same time every night. That is the protocol. Nothing on that list costs more than about $1 a day on average. No special powder, no expensive supplement, just consistency. Now, what should you actually expect and when? Because this is where most people give up. They expect a miracle in 3 days, do not see it, and quit. Week 1. You will probably notice better energy and steadier mood. That is, your blood sugar stabilizing. Visible skin changes are minimal at this point. Be patient. Weeks 2 to 3. You may start to see slight improvements in hydration and tone, less puffiness in the morning. The bloating and post-meal fatigue you may have been ignoring tend to lift first. Weeks 4 to 6. Your liver enzymes, if they were elevated, often start to drop measurably in this window. Skin looks brighter. Your clothes may fit slightly better. Under-eye shadows soften. Weeks 8 to 12. This is where most of the real changes happen. The 39% reduction in liver fat from that randomized trial we mentioned earlier came from exactly this kind of 12-week window. Skin tone, texture, and elasticity show genuine, observable improvement. Those set-in deeper wrinkles will not reverse. They will, however, stop deepening as quickly. That matters more than people realize. 6 months in, you are in different territory. Different blood work, different energy, different face. Not a younger face, a healthier one. And in my experience, that is what most people actually want. Not to look 30 again, but to look like the best version of the age they really are. Let me bring it all together. The core insight of this video is this. Your face after 50 is not just a record of how many birthdays you have had. It is also a record of how your liver and your blood sugar have been doing for the last 10 or 15 years. That is real biology, not marketing. And the most underdiagnosed driver of that quiet skin decline is metabolic dysfunction-associated steatotic liver disease, MASLD, affecting roughly a third of adults worldwide, the majority of whom have no idea they have it. Your villains, in one phrase, are sugar, belly fat, alcohol, sleep loss, and medication overload. Your solutions, in one phrase, are water, coffee, protein mornings, a Mediterranean-style plate, 10-minute walks after meals, real sleep, and a blood test your doctor can run this month. One important reminder before you go. I am a health educator and researcher. I am not your physician. Nothing I have said today replaces a real conversation with the doctor who knows your history, your medications, and your specific risk factors. Please bring this video to them. Ask about your ALT, your AST, and your FIB-4 score. Make a plan together. If this video helped you, please subscribe so the algorithm keeps showing this kind of content to other people who need it. Hit the like button. It is free, and it tells YouTube this matters. Leave your age in the comments. I read them. And there is a community link in the description if you want to be part of the conversation with other viewers over 50 who are doing this work alongside you. We are working toward 100,000 subscribers this season, and each one of you gets us closer. A final thought. The doctor's office gets 15 minutes. The drug company gets 30 seconds in a commercial. The wellness influencer gets 12 seconds in a reel. You deserve more than that. You deserve the time to actually understand what is happening inside your own body. That is what this channel is for. The most useful medicine is the kind you learn to apply yourself. I will see you in the next video.